Now, if you have been following the Marketing Empress on a regular basis, you might have come across me using the term comparative advertising quite often. Now, many believe that comparative advertising in India is actually frowned upon, and brands cannot just randomly go ahead and use comparative advertising. But honestly, it's not as simple as that. There are multiple factors that decide whether a brand can use comparative advertising or not. And honestly, there have been so many brands who have done it really well. But the recent Sebamed soap ads have taken comparative advertising a notch higher. And honestly, kudos to the team who decided to do this because it's a very, very bold step. So what exactly happened when Sebamed decided to talk about their ads and portray their products to be better than that of HUL? Let's see what exactly happened when they decided to do this. Guys, welcome back to the Marketing Empress. If you're new here, hi, my name is Simrani and I'm so excited to have you on board with me for this particular video. On this channel, I create content around all things marketing and I upload every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. So if you are interested in increasing your learning around marketing, then ensure that you subscribe to this channel and hit the bell notification icon so that the next time any video around marketing is uploaded, you get notified first. Now, without further ado, let's jump into the ad campaign.
फिल्म स्टार्स के ब्यूटी सोप का पीएच लेवल किसके जितना होता है? इसके जितना।
Confused?
आओ डेमो देखिए।
सेंसिटिव स्किन के लिए आइडियल पीएच होता है 5.5। आओ लक्स का देखें।
10।
रिन का देखें।
Also 10। सीबामेट का?
सीबामेट परफेक्ट 5.5 फॉर सेंसिटिव स्किन।
इसीलिए फिल्म स्टार्स ही नहीं, साइंस है सब। सीबामेट।
Now that's some clutter breaking advertising right there. Okay, now let's move on to analyzing these campaigns right from the background, the strategy, the execution, everything. But make sure you stick around right till the end because I'll also be covering my top learnings from this ad campaign towards the end of the video. So ensure you stick around to look at that. Let's start with the advertising background. Now, these ads were aired back in January, where the marketing head of Sebamed mentioned that these ads were trying to promote evidence-based advertising as against disparaging another company products. There were ads across, I think there were 2 or 3 edits of similar ads which compared Sebamed soaps to other soaps. The comparison was directly made with brands like Pears, Dove, Santoor and the likes. And there was also another ad which spoke about the pH level of Lux being equal to that of a detergent bar Rin. And both of them are from HUL. Let's look at the advertising objective. Now, understand that the soap category in general is extremely competitive with the market share being dominated by HUL soap brands. In a situation like this, it becomes really difficult for a new brand to come into the picture and stand out. So when Sebamed came in as a consumer-led or consumer soap, it had a big task in front of it to tackle the giants who've been there in the soap category. Now it became a difficult task even more because soaps as a category is extremely loyalty driven. So what happens in this case is that if a person has been using a Dove soap for a very long period of time, it becomes extremely difficult for brands to, psychologically have that impact on consumers to make them switch from those products. Throughout the ad campaigns portrayed by Sebamed, what their objective was around ensuring that consumers understand the importance of pH levels in soap. The communication message or the brand message that they had across was that Sebamed soaps have the perfect pH level. Now, this same brand message could be communicated in either of these 2 ways. Number 1, Sebamed has perfect pH level. Second one, the other soap category, like other soaps within the category, did not have the perfect pH level. And through their ad campaigns, to have that impact on consumers, they decided to go with the second option.
Next, advertising execution.
Now, having an authoritative figure in your ad communication is not a new phenomenon. Okay, so you've seen that happening across toothpaste ads or any medically approved products, but this was not prevalent in case of soaps so far. So Sebamed decided to introduce this authoritative doctor figure, whereby they make the claims much more believable. Okay, throughout their ad campaigns, you can see these girls or ladies going for a bath in this classy, ancient sort of an attire, and normally in these ad campaigns, any ad campaigns, when it's comparative advertising, they try to blur the name of the competitor. Okay, they may have the same colors, that a competitor is using, but they'll still blur the names. Sebamed did not do that. So these girls or ladies who are having a bath are shown to compare their soap with the likes of Dove, a Santoor or a Pears. So what's also amazing to note in this particular ad campaign is their entire product window. In their product window, they have mentioned or used the famous litmus strip, product window frame, wherein the litmus strip is actually getting a different color because of the pH level present in the soap. Now, this litmus strip ka entire concept was introduced by HUL, okay, when they were talking about a Dove campaign back in the day. But now when they are using the same litmus strip, you can see that the color changes to a -1 even when it's used on a Dove. I think the quirkiest part of these ad campaigns is the tagline, "Film stars ki nahi, science ki suno." So it's that perfect blow to all of those ads who use a brand ambassador like Lux using Kareena Kapoor for a very long period of time, etc. It's the perfect blow because you're telling your consumers that instead of listening to celebrities who are actually paid to endorse a product, listen to science, because we have actual evidence to prove that our product is better. I mean, just think about it. A consumer is bound to stop and react.
Now let's look at HUL's reaction to these ads.
HUL is not new to the concept of comparative advertising. In fact, they were the ones who introduced the concept of comparative advertising within the soap category when they targeted ITC's Vivel. So Vivel was also targeted in a way that they used the litmus strip approach. All of those things were also done, and they got in the comparative advertising. Now, HUL filed a lawsuit against the German brand without giving them any prior notice. But what happened is that Sebamed had already released so many ads over the weekend that the damage had already been done. At the end of the court case, what came out as a result was that those ads which specifically targeted or compared Lux and Dove to a detergent bar were barred from airing, and the other ads were allowed to be played with some minor tweaks. Now, to help or rather support HUL's claim in this, I would say that the ads are kind of misleading as well, because understand that when it comes to the formulation of a soap, pH level is just one part of it. It's not the entire, the crux on which a soap is made. So only judging the effectiveness of a soap based on a pH level may not really make any sense.
Let's explore my advertising learnings.
Now, while comparative advertising is not new at all, in fact, I've worked on a comparative advertising campaign myself. I know it's not new, but every new form that gets introduced in the advertising scenario brings in its own learnings. So here are my top 3 learnings from this particular ad campaign.
Number 1. The switch from a prescribed product to a consumer product does take some effort.
Sebamed ads were not introduced in the market through this ad campaign. Okay guys, Sebamed products or Sebamed soaps were already available in the market, but they used to function under the prescribed product category. With these ad campaigns, the brand only wanted to switch in from a prescribed product to that of a consumer driven, something that you can buy for a regular usage sort of a product. And to be very honest, I think it was a tough choice, because when you bring in an authoritative figure or a scientific explanation to things, consumers may or may not be receptive to it. So it's a bargain, to be honest, but I think it worked out in Sebamed's favor.
Number 2. Comparative advertising definitely generates the much needed attention.
Now, while comparative advertising is a tough nut to crack, because there are multiple things that can go wrong with your communication and very few that can actually work in your favor. What's more important is to understand that for comparative advertising to actually work for a brand, a lot of research, a hell lot of research needs to be conducted at the back end to have claims that you can put forth, okay? These claims have to be believable. These claims have to be backed up by a lot of research and data. And you cannot just randomly come up with anything and everything. You have to have some sense involved into it. But nonetheless, these ads worked in Sebamed's favor because it created the much needed buzz around the brand, and even those who were not aware of the brand existing in the market before were now informed about it.
Lastly, effects of comparative advertising may be short-lived.
Now, I think this particular learning can be similar to any other learning that we've gained, or any campaign for that matter, because the kind of effect that a particular campaign can have on you or can have in the consumers is going to be a very something that you cannot predict as a marketer. But as a matter of fact, comparative advertising and the effect it has can be very short-lived. So you may have to come up with a different proposition altogether when you're devising a new ad campaign the next time around. So that may not happen with other campaigns, because you can still stick around by using some parts of the previous ad campaigns. Like, say for example, if you were to take Kit Kat. Now, Kit Kat has been using the same tagline, have a break, have a Kit Kat, for years and years together. The communication works well because that's that constant link attached to it. If you want to check out my video on Kit Kat advertising analysis, I'll link it somewhere at the top so you guys can have a look at it, where I analyzed the start of how the tagline was introduced and how it's been used across Indian ad campaign. So to conclude, whatever may be the case, the fact of the matter is that Sebamed managed to do the damage that HUL was possibly not expecting, and still managed to get the much needed attention it needed from the consumer's point of view. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed analyzing these ad campaigns with me. If you like the video, then ensure that you actually like it on YouTube. Share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel by hitting the bell notification icon, and of course, before you leave, let me know in the comments below if there's any other ad campaign that you really like and you would want me to review it for you. Until next time,